Okay, good evening. Welcome to
MinuteMath number 101.
MinuteMath number 101. Today we're looking at a neat little geometry problem from the Mathematical Association of America's MinuteMath page. And since today is Pi Day, we have a problem involving the Pythagorean theorem. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Bill walks half a mile south, 3/4 of a mile east, and then half a mile south again. How far away in a straight line is he from his starting point? Okay, do you understand the problem?
Yeah.
Alright, why don't you draw what happens first?
Well, here's the starting point.
Okay.
He walks half a mile south.
Alright.
Should be to here.
Alright.
3/4 of a mile east.
Yep.
Should be a bit longer.
Yep.
And half a mile south again.
Okay. Great. Now, what's the line that we're trying to figure out how long it is? We're trying to figure out how long that line is. Okay, now.
We've got two triangles.
We do have two triangles. Do you know the Pythagorean theorem?
A squared plus b squared is c squared.
Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem tells us in a right triangle that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we need to.
C is this side.
Right. So we'd love to find a right triangle whose hypotenuse was that side.
But is this plus this that distance?
Not quite. This triangle, the hypotenuse of this triangle plus the hypotenuse of that triangle is the distance. But we might be able to draw a triangle, a right triangle that has this as a hypotenuse. Can you figure out how to draw one in? Aha! If we just draw a triangle like that. Now how long is this side here?
This is 3/4 of a mile.
Okay, 3/4. Hope this is all on camera. I think we're getting a little low, but that's a half.
This is a mile.
And so this is 1 mile. Okay? So the Pythagorean theorem tells us that 1 squared, which is
1.
You sure?
Yeah.
1 times 1 is?
1.
Okay. Plus 3/4 squared. And what is 3/4 squared?
3/4 times 3/4, which is 9/16.
Okay, and this is going to equal our hypotenuse, c squared. So we don't know what c is, but we're going to figure out what c squared is. And so when we get c squared, what can we do?
Find the square root.
Find the square root. Okay, so we have to figure out now what 1 plus 9/16 is. So what is that?
It's 25/16.
Aha! It's 25 over 16, and that equals, back up a little. That equals c squared. So what does c equal?
Well, 25 over 16 it's 5 over 4 squared.
Right, so we take the square root and we get 5/4. How about that for a pretty cool problem? So, now we haven't really talked about the Pythagorean theorem, that's why I kind of walked you through this. But what we have is a problem where walks down, walks over, walks down. Boy, you say, oh, I got a lot of right triangles in here. I'd love to be able to find a nice right triangle so I could use the Pythagorean theorem. And hey, wait a minute, I know. If this was the hypotenuse, and the triangle looked like this, I would know this was 3/4 and this was 1, so I could use the Pythagorean theorem. 1 squared plus 3/4 squared, well that's 1 plus 9/16, which equals 25/16. And then we take the square root and we get
5/4.
5/4. Great. This is a hard problem, by the way. Only about 20% of the people got this right. 20% is 1 out of
5.
1 out of 5 people got this right. This is a tough problem. All right, good job, sweetie. Could you erase, please, before the red sticks?